There's no pretending, Jace said with absolute clarity. I love you, and I will love you until I die. And if there's life after that, I'll love you then. When someone loves you, the way they talk about you is different. You feel safe and comfortable. He's like a drug for you, Bella. Fall down again, Bella.
Music licensing reimagined.
Emmett, I punched a werewolf in the face. Look after my heart, I've left it with you. I am Switzerland. I refuse to be affected by territorial disputes between mythical creatures. I promise to love you forever, every single day of forever. He sighed. The clouds I can handle,
Artlist.io.
but I can't fight with an eclipse. I'm gonna fight for you until your heart stops beating. Does it bother you, me being half naked all the time? Did you seriously just stamp your foot? I thought girls only did that on TV. I no longer believed in the idea of soulmates or love at first sight. But I was beginning to believe that a very few times in your life, if you were lucky, you might meet someone who was exactly right for you. Not because he was perfect, or because you were, but because your combined flaws were arranged in a way that allowed two separate beings to hinge together. You can't force love, I realized. It's there or it isn't. If it's not there, you've got to be able to admit it. If it is there, you've got to do whatever it takes to protect the ones you love. Some women choose to follow men, and some women choose to follow their dreams. If you're wondering which way to go, remember that your career will never wake up and tell you that it doesn't love you anymore. The best love is the kind that awakens the soul and makes us reach for more, that plants a fire in our hearts and brings peace to our minds. And that's what you've given me. That's what I'd hoped to give you forever. And I'm supposed to sit by while you date boys and fall in love with someone else, get married. His voice tightened. And
music licensing reimagined.
A little bit more every day, watching. I heard what you said. I'm not the silly romantic you think. I don't want the heavens or the shooting stars. I don't want gemstones or gold. I have those things already. I want a steady hand, a kind soul. I want to fall asleep and wake knowing my heart is safe. I want to love and be loved. I have a history of making decisions very quickly about men. I have always fallen in love fast and without measuring risks.
Music licensing reimagined.
I have a tendency not only to see the best in everyone, but to assume that everyone is emotionally capable of reaching his highest potential. I have fallen in love more times than I care to count with the highest potential of a man, rather than with the man himself, and I have hung on to the relationship for a long time, sometimes far too long, waiting for the man to ascend to his own greatness. Many times in romance, I have been a victim of my own optimism.
Artlist.io.
The very essence of romance is uncertainty. They didn't agree on much. In fact, they didn't agree on anything. They fought all the time and challenged each other every day. But despite their differences, they had one important thing in common. They were crazy about each other. I cannot fix on the hour or the spot, or the look, or the words, which laid the foundation. It is too long ago. I was in the middle before I knew that I had begun. If you love somebody, let them go, for if they return, they were always yours. If they don't, they never were. If he's not calling you, it's because you are not on his mind. If he creates expectations for you, and then doesn't follow through on little things, he will do same for big
Music
things.
licensing reimagined.
Be aware of this and realize that he's okay with disappointing you. Don't be with someone who doesn't do what they say they're going to do. If he's choosing not to make a simple effort that would put you at ease and bring harmony to a recurring fight, then he doesn't respect your feelings and needs. Busy is another word for asshole. Asshole is another word for the guy you're dating. You deserve a fucking phone call. If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it, that surfeiting. The appetite may sicken, and so die.
Music licensing reimagined.
Strain again. It had a dying fall. Oh, it came over my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough, no more. 'Tis not so sweet now as it was before. O spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that, notwithstanding thy capacity, receiveth as the sea, not enters there. Of what validity and pitch soar, but falls into abatement and low price.
Music
Even a minute,
licensing
so full
reimagined.
of shapes is fancy, that it alone is high fantastical. I can feel Peter press his forehead into my temple, and he asks, "So now that you've got me, what are you going to do with me?" I turn into him, put you somewhere you can't get hurt. When love is not madness, it is not love. Only a true best friend can protect you from your mortal enemies. True love is rare, and it's the only thing that gives life real meaning. I was smiling yesterday, I am smiling today, and I will smile tomorrow, simply because life is too short to cry
Music
for
licensing
anything.
reimagined.
Never close your lips to those whom you have already opened your heart. It isn't possible to love in part. You will wish that it was. You can transmute love, ignore it, muddle it, but you can never pull it out of you. I know by experience that the poets are right. Love is eternal. There was a clatter as the basilisk fangs cascaded out of Hermione's arms. Running at Ron,
Artless
she
I.O.
flung them around his neck and kissed him full on the mouth. Ron threw away the fangs and broomstick he was holding and responded with such enthusiasm that he lifted Hermione off her feet. Is this the moment? Harry asked
Music
weakly,
licensing
and when nothing
reimagined.
happened except that Ron and Hermione gripped each other still more firmly and swayed on the spot, he raised his voice. Boy, there's a war going on here. Ron and Hermione broke apart, their arms still around each other. I know, mate, said Ron, who looked as though he had recently been hit on the back of the
Artless
head with
I.O.
a bludger. So it's now or never, isn't it? Never mind that. What about the Horcrux? Harry shouted. Do you think you could just hold it in until we've got the diadem? Yeah, right, sorry, said
Music
Ron.
licensing
And he and
reimagined.
Hermione said about gathering up fangs, both pink in the face. I can listen no longer in silence. I must speak to you by such means as are within my reach. You pierced my soul. I am half agony, half hope. Tell me not that I am too late, that such precious feelings are gone forever. I
Artlist.io.
offer myself to you again with a heart even more your own than when you almost broke it 8.5 years ago. Dare not say that man forgets sooner than woman, that his love has an earlier death. I have loved none but you.
Music licensing
Unjust I may
reimagined.
have been, weak and resentful I have been, but never inconstant. You alone have brought me to Bath. For you alone, I think and plan. Have you not seen this? Can you fail to have understood my wishes? I had not waited even these 10 days. Could I have read your feelings, as I think you must have penetrated
Artlist.io.
mine? I can hardly write. I am every instant hearing something which overpowers me. You sink your voice, but I can distinguish the tones of that voice when they would be lost on others. Too good,
Music
too
licensing
excellent creature.
reimagined.
You do us justice, indeed. You do believe that there is true attachment and constancy among men. Believe it to be most fervent, most undeviating, in F.W. I must go, uncertain of my fate, but I shall return hither, or follow your party, as soon as possible. A
Artlist.io.
word, a look, will be enough to decide whether I enter your father's house this evening or never. The heart is an arrow. It demands aim to land true. You know what charm is, a way of getting the answer yes without
Music
having asked
licensing
any clear
reimagined.
question. Say provoking again. Your mouth looks provocative when you do. You here to finish me off, sweetheart? Every great love starts with a great story. I stood still, vision blurring, and in that moment, I heard my heart break. It was a small, clean sound, like the snapping of a flower stem. And he took her in his arms and kissed her under the
Artlist.io.
sunlit sky, and he cared not that they stood high upon the walls in the sight of many. I'm not sentimental, I'm as romantic as you are. The idea, you know, is that the sentimental person thinks things will last
Music
the romantic
licensing reimagined.
person has a desperate confidence that they won't. I knew, in the silence that followed, that anything could happen here. It might be too late, again, I might have missed my chance. But I would at least know I tried, that I took my heart and extended my hand, whatever the outcome. Okay, he said.
Artlist.io.
He took a breath. What would you do if you could do anything? I took a step toward him, closing the space between us. This, I said. And then I kissed him. You could have fooled me.
Music licensing reimagined.
Every time I called you, Luke said you were sick. I figured you were avoiding me. Again, I wasn't. I did want to talk to you. I've been thinking about you all the time. I've been thinking about you, too. I really was sick. I swear. I almost died
Artlist.io.
back there on the ship, you know. I know. Every time you almost die, I almost die myself. My soul will find yours. Come sleep with me. We won't make love. Love will make us.
Music licensing reimagined.
How come I never know when you're having a nightmare? I say, I don't know. I don't think I cry out or thrash around or anything. I just come to, paralyzed with terror, he says. You should wake me, I say, thinking about how I can interrupt his sleep 2 or 3 times on a bad night.
Artlist.io.
About how long it can take to calm me down. It's not necessary. My nightmares are usually about losing you, he says. I'm okay once I realize you're here. When one is in love, one always
Music
begins by
licensing
deceiving
reimagined.
oneself, and one always ends by deceiving others. That is what the world calls a romance. The very first moment I beheld him, my heart was irrevocably gone. Sometimes I wonder if there's something wrong with me. Perhaps I've spent too long in the company of my literary romantic heroes, and consequently my ideals and expectations are far too high. I wonder how many people don't get the one they want, but end up with the one they're supposed to be with. You're dangerous, he says. Because you make me believe
Music
in the
licensing
impossible.
reimagined.
You're dangerous, he says. Why? Because you make me believe in the impossible. My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me, that I must love a loathed enemy. I am not an angel, I asserted, and I will not be one till I die. I will be myself.
Artlist.io.
Mr. Rochester, you must neither expect nor exact anything celestial of me, for you will not get it, any more than I shall get it of you, which I do not at all anticipate. I'm about to make a wild, extreme, and severe relationship.
Music
The
licensing
word busy is
reimagined.
a load of crap and is most often used by assholes. The word busy is the relationship weapon of mass destruction. It seems like a good excuse, but in fact in every silo you uncover, all you're going to find is a man who didn't care enough to call. Remember, men are never too busy to get what they want. So it's true,
Artlist.io.
when all is said and done, grief is the price we pay for love. Romance is the glamour which turns the dust of everyday life into a golden haze. Sometimes when I'm alone, I take the pearl from where it lives in my pocket and
Music
try to
licensing
remember the boy with the
reimagined.
bread, the strong arms that warded off nightmares on the train, the kisses in the arena. Thus with a kiss I die. When someone cries so hard that it hurts their throat, it is out of frustration or knowing that no matter what you can do or attempt to do can change the situation. When you feel like you need to cry, when you want to just get it out,
Artlist.io.
relieve some of the pressure from the inside, that is true pain. Because no matter how hard you try or how bad you want to, you can't. That pain just stays in place. Then, if you are lucky, one small
Music
tear may
licensing
escape from those
reimagined.
eyes that water constantly. That one tear, that tiny, salty droplet of moisture is a means of escape. Although it's just a small tear, it is the heaviest thing in the world. And it doesn't do a damn thing to fix anything. Moments, when lost, can't be found again. They're just gone.
I.O.
Sometimes you wake up from a dream. Sometimes you wake up in a dream. And sometimes, every once in a while, you wake up in someone else's dream. In our time together, you claimed a special place in
Music
my heart.
licensing
One I'll carry
reimagined.
with me forever, and that no one can ever replace. She wanted something else, something different, something more. Passion and romance, perhaps, or maybe quiet conversations in candlelit rooms, or perhaps something as simple as not being second. Romance is thinking about your significant other when you are supposed to be thinking about something else. It's bullshit to think of friendship and romance as being different. They're not. They're just variations of the same love. Variations of the same desire to be close.
Music licensing
When it comes to men
reimagined.
who are romantically interested in you, it's really simple. Just ignore everything they say and only pay attention to what they do. I belong to my beloved, and my beloved is mine.